going on, guys? It's Jason Morris here. Today we're going to be filming on something different today. Guess what I'm filming on? Guess in the comments below. See if you can get it. But today we're actually going to be talking about the Hollyland Mars 400S. Now this is a great video transmitter. Let's get into this video. What's going on, guys? My name's Jason Morris. Yes, today we're going to be talking about the Mars 400S and what this thing can do. Now, there are a few pros and cons to this thing. It all depends on what you want to be using it for. Now, this thing is predominantly for filmmakers, so they can actually have a wireless transmitted feed, say to a director, or you can pass a field monitor onto the client, so you can keep it away from you. Sometimes when you're actually doing some jobs, the client is overlooking your shoulder and what type of shots you're getting. It does get a little bit sort of claustrophobic and frustrating when they're really close to you. All you need to do is hand over the receiver with a wireless feed, and away they can just go sit over in the corner. The great thing about this thing as well is probably one of the biggest pros of this is that you can have a wireless feed, download the app, and you can bring it onto your iOS device or your Android device, your wireless feed directly on that. So it is very easy and basic. That can actually set you apart from the rest of the field, is that you can give this directly to your client and they can see from a distance. Now that is a really good thing to have, especially if you are a content creator or a filmmaker and you do a lot of jobs for smaller companies or even larger companies. This does have an SDI input for your larger cinema cameras. So yeah, that is a great feature right there. So another pro of this thing is that it has a 400-foot range. So you can actually shoot down 400 feet down the road and you'll still get some nice transmission. Now, one of the cons to that though, there is a little bit of latency in this. Now it is noticeable, but if you are just giving it to your client for them to see in a wireless feed, that should be perfectly fine because they won't actually notice too much difference. But if you are trying to pull focus wirelessly, I probably wouldn't recommend it. So you would only use this as a wireless feed for someone else to see. Now this system is an upgrade from the Mars 300. Now the Mars 300 was a different build. This seems to be a lot more quality when it comes to the build. It is a full metal design, which is really awesome. It has an OLED display screen on the front, which gives you a whole bunch of other features with like battery and all the functions that's on it and what channels you need to be on as well. So it is really cool to have that OLED display. So one of the cons when it comes to the design of this, because it is small, you're gonna have to fit a fan in there to keep it nice and cool. And what I found is that the transmitter actually had a loud fan noise. So if you are recording a close vicinity within this and you wanna try and get some nice crisp audio, you may actually pick up the fan noise. It does get a little bit loud after a while, but not loud enough to actually notice it too much. Now, obviously they need a fan in here to cool it down because it is a full metal design, but like I said, it's probably not loud enough to pick it up if you're at a certain distance, but if you are doing a lot of close macro shots, you may actually start to hear this in the audio. So anyway, let's jump into some of the features this thing has. So the Mars 400S is a wireless video transmitter made by Hollyland. In the box, it comes with 5 antennas, which obviously you have one extra. There's 2 antennas for the transmitter and 2 antennas for the receiver. You've got an SDI input and output. You have a HDMI input as well. On the transmitter, it has an output and it has a USB-C input for any firmware updates in the future. On the bottom, you can actually see there's a 1/4-inch mount for mounting it on a tripod, and it comes with a base plate so you can mount this horizontally just to try and save a little bit of space. It is an all metal design and it has a very small build. It's 112 millimeters long by 65 wide and 23 millimeters thick. The whole thing weighs around 190 grams without the antenna and batteries. Now you can actually use regular Sony MPF batteries with this as well. So the 400S isn't exactly a cheap option. I think at the moment it is around 649 US. So it is pretty expensive, but it is for more higher end filmmakers, people who actually get paid to do some jobs. I wouldn't recommend this for YouTubers. It's probably not for the smaller YouTuber, but it is for content creators and filmmakers who get paid and potentially want to give that transmitter to a client, or even just have a second screen for like a director or something. So if you are working on a small short film, this could actually be quite handy. I did use it on a short film project, and it was very handy that I could give it to the director. I was the DOP/cinematographer, so I was working the camera work. The director was able to look into the screen. He could actually look up and see what the framing was like in the screen, and obviously direct the actors as well. So it is quite handy in that situation as well. So all up, this is a pretty decent piece of equipment, especially like I said, if you do a lot of short films or you do some content for companies and businesses, all that kind of corporate stuff. It all depends on what you do. It's probably not for YouTubers. I wouldn't see a need for it, but it is still a pretty decent product for the price. So I hope you like this short video, guys. Hit that like button if you could. Comment below if you know what camera I am using and what lens setup. Like I said, it is a Sony. Guess which one it is. It's not my A7 III this time. So let's have a quick guess to see if you can guess what it is. But other than that, guys, my name is Jason Morris, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Let's get it.